Hi everyone, it's Sam from SiteMate. In this video, we're going to take a look at how you can export your information out of Dashpivot. We're going to take a look at how you can export all of your photos and how you can export all of your forms in bulk. So first up, we're going to take a look at how you can bulk export your photos out of Dashpivot. Now, I've just gone to a particular team that I have. So you'll have to do this in each team, but go to the team, go to the photos section, and you can see we've got our photos here. From this view, you can select the photos individually, or you can just bulk select all of the photos from each day, and your download options will appear on this bar. So we've got the first option, download as a zip, and that will give us a zipped folder that contains the image file for each of these photos. So you'll get JPEGs and PNGs, whatever file type was uploaded into Dashpivot originally. It will store all of those in a single folder that will be downloaded as a zip. The second option is download as a PDF. And the PDF will contain a lot more information than what you get if you just download the original as a zip. I'll show you what it looks like if we give it just a moment, but it will come up with all the same information that we see on the website when we're using Dashpivot. So information about where the photo was taken, who took it, the time and date, the tags, descriptions, and comments, all of that will be contained in that PDF export. So as an example, you can see here that we have our images and we have the company logo up the top, the GPS location, who took it, all that metadata, as well as information about the project displayed up the top. And because we selected multiple photos, they're all combined into a single photo report. So it comes out looking nice and professional and sort of stores all of those together. Now, a quick note on bulk exporting the photos. Some of the photo files and video files can get quite large. So when it comes to downloading in bulk, you may want to do it in batches. So instead of selecting 50 photos to download at a time, you probably just want to download between 20 and 30 photos just to keep the download sizes quite manageable. If you run into trouble, just try reducing the amount of photos that you select to export. It just makes it a bit more manageable. Obviously, the photos and the video file sizes are quite varied depending on the quality of the photos and the dimensions of the photos. So just something to keep in mind and consider when you're performing that bulk export. Now, like I said, you will need to go into every project and every team to each photo section to perform that bulk export. So if you're doing that across multiple locations, you'll just need to go in one by one and run that export. It's a little bit of a different story with the forms that you have in Dashpivot. So we'll take a look at that now. If we head to templates, I'm going to look at one example just from our site diary template that we have. So for each template, you can just click on the template, open it up. You can see all of your forms here. Now the place to bulk download is actually via the register view. So we'll click on register and we can see that we have a row in our register for each of our forms. Each row has a checkbox, so we can select the forms that we want to export. If we're doing a bulk export, we may just want to select all, and then we have two export options. The CSV will give us basically a CSV file that can be opened up in Excel or a similar spreadsheet type program. And then we've got the download as PDF option. And I'll show you what the PDF looks like with just a couple of forms. There's actually a few options. The register only will give you just what you see on this screen. So it will give you these three forms in a single table on an A3 page with company branding and metadata about the project and all the usual stuff. The third option will give you three individual PDF files, one per form. And the middle option will actually combine these two together. So you'll get a register cover page that's an A3 page. It would have each of the forms that you selected in the export on that cover page. And then behind that, so pages 2 and onwards, or doesn't necessarily have to be page 2, but in our case, with only 3 forms selected, it would be page 2 onwards, would have each of the individual form PDFs. So the cover is A3, which is our register, and then every page after that is going to be an A4 page. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Click download, and we just need to give Dashpivot a moment to compile those 3 forms together and add in all of the photos. And once it's done, we can click this download button and open it up and take a look. You can see, so this is the A3 cover page. It's got our logo. It's got 3 rows in the table for those 3 forms that we selected. It's got as many columns as it can fit onto an A3 page. Sometimes if you've got more columns in your register, those won't be able to all be displayed on the A3 page because we have limited space. So you might want to turn some of the columns on and off or rearrange them. That can all be done via the Dashpivot website. But we'll get this cover page, and then every page after that will be our individual forms. So that's our first diary, this is the second diary, and that's the third diary, and so on and so forth. So it just collates all of that information into a nice and neat, professional looking export. So we've run through how to bulk export the forms. Now you will have to do this for each of your templates. If you have records underlying each of them, this can be quite a process if you have a large number of templates stored in Dashpivot. But if you have been using company-wide templates, which are managed at a company level in your template library, this can make the whole process a lot easier. So instead of having to go into each of these teams and each of these projects and then going into each template, we can kind of skip all of that and just go to the company template library. And then from here, if we select any of our templates, I'm going to use the site diary example again. If we click on site diary, this is now going to show us a register of all of these forms across every project and every team wherever it's been used. So when we're doing a bulk export from here, it's going to contain a lot more information. It's going to contain like every form that has been filled out using this template. And it's all accessible from the one place, and you have those same options, the CSV and the 3 download as PDF options contained as well. You will need to do this for each template. So in your template library, once you've downloaded all of the site diaries, you could go and download all of the inspections and the permits and so on and so forth until you've downloaded everything. The recommendation here is, again, just do it in batches to keep the file sizes practical. If you download too many PDFs combined together, then you probably run into issues if your file sizes are 100, 200, 500 megabytes, maybe more if you've got a lot of photos and a lot of forms. And those, I mean, file sizes of that size just aren't practical. It takes a long time to open them on your computer. You can't email them because they're too big. So as a general rule, we recommend downloading the forms in batches of, say, 15, 20 forms sort of at a time, just to keep it quite manageable. So with that in mind, that concludes this video on the exporting of information. We do have some additional resources available in our Help Center on our website, and you can also contact us via live chat if you get stuck with anything. But thanks for watching. I hope it's been helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.